This is a book ball summary of the book Skip the Line by James Altucher. It's impossible for James Altucher to keep track of how many times he switched careers. An entrepreneur who has launched businesses, most of which have failed, as well as started a venture capital firm and hedge fund. He's written countless books and even tried his hand at stand-up comedy. He's been broke many times and wondered how he'd feed his family. Despite all these setbacks, he grew stronger as a result. Today, Altucher is a successful entrepreneur, writer and investor. He has monetized his passions throughout his diverse career. We'll discuss how he's refined strategies to skip the line, i.e. to help you achieve your goals faster. Number 1. Skipping the line means finding what you love and getting good at it fast. Have you ever heard of the 10,000 hours rule? The concept was developed by Swedish psychologist Anders Ericsson and was later popularized by the author Malcolm Gladwell. It states that becoming the best in the world at something takes 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. But what if you don't have 10,000 hours to spend learning a skill? Millions of people lost their jobs, lives and livelihood due to the outbreak of COVID. It's hard for people to get their lives on track again. James Altucher knows what it's like to have to start all over again. In 2002, he had no career, no job and was broke. Fast forward 2 years and Altucher was running a hedge fund that managed millions of dollars, as well as writing his first book. A few years after that, he sold an investment-related business for a lucrative amount. It was in the millions. So how did he transform his situation so fast? First, he thought about what it was that he really wanted to do. Then he ditched the idea that it takes 10,000 hours to master a skill. Instead, he thought about ways to quickly get good at something and started earning money. Number 2. Why people get good at their skills so quickly. In the 1960s, Dick Fosbury was a mediocre high jumper. This was mostly because the accepted technique for high jumping, the upright scissors technique, just didn't work for him. It involved running toward the bar, jumping forward and swinging your lead leg up straight, then lifting your other leg to clear the bar. But Fosbury just couldn't do it. His legs were so long that he'd always clip the bar. So, one day he experimented and jumped backwards instead. The result? His technique let him clear the bar much smoother and higher than ever before. When Altucher first started out in stand-up comedy, for example, he felt like a rank amateur. Worse, he was terrified of getting on stage. But he knew getting better meant trying things out, even if they bombed. So, one time, he let the audience choose a topic for him to joke about. He'd never seen a comedian do that before, but he'd read that audiences tend to be more engaged when they feel like they have a say in what you're doing. The crowd loved it. Have you ever wondered how some people get good at things so quickly? Consider Pelé, the Brazilian soccer superstar. Pelé, the Brazilian soccer superstar, became so good at things so quickly because he borrowed hours from his previous experience. This technique can help you speed up your acquisition of skills. Pelé had grown up in a poor family and hadn't had access to the facilities or equipment needed to play soccer. Instead, he played futsal, which helped him think and play fast, which helped him transition to soccer. Another example of borrowing hours can be seen in language learning. Pelé followed his passion and allowed it to lead him in a new direction without being hung up on the outcome. Number 3. Within every idea, there are always career possibilities with lower conspiracy numbers. Altucher was in the depths of depression, losing his home and had 2 kids to feed. He started small and exercised his idea muscle on a daily basis, which resulted in opportunities. Altucher called this process idea calculus, and he used it to create a new video conferencing platform that includes 10 features he added to Zoom. Altucher's friend wanted to make a clothing line in the US but couldn't find a manufacturer, so he suggested she makes the first samples in China. Amazon started selling books online, proved that this worked, and then expanded to other categories. PayPal started as a way to pay for anything via a web browser but focused on just one website, eBay. Altucher broke his initial idea into subsets and came up with 10 ideas for pages and 10 things on each page. Altucher experienced having lots of ideas all day, but didn't know which ones were good. He had to decide which ones were good and which ones were not. Altucher weighs up which ideas to pursue by asking himself how many things have to conspire to make this idea a reality. A book has a conspiracy number of 5. With every idea, there are always other possibilities with lower conspiracy numbers. Try listing all the possibilities and analysing the conspiracy numbers for each one. Then pick the one with the lowest conspiracy number. Number 4. How to use fear as a springboard to achieve your dreams. Matt Berry was a Hollywood screenwriter who quit and started blogging to earn a measly income. He eventually became the first fantasy sports anchor on the American sports channel ESPN. Danica Patrick, the highest-ranking female race car driver, recommends asking yourself how you would structure your ideal day, looking at the photos on your phone and ranking the activities you did the past month by how happy each of them made you. Find a community of people who love that purpose as much as you do. Compare notes, learn from others, and find a mentor. Then, just start doing it. When Altucher was 26, he felt like a total failure, but he took a job at HBO as a software developer and eventually achieved success because he learned to turn his fear into growth. Altucher worries about his writing, but he uses fear as a springboard to achieve his dreams. He doesn't start a business unless he's afraid it will fail, and he doesn't give a talk unless he's afraid he's going to push people out of their comfort zone. Innovation happens when you push the boundaries, get comfortable with fear, and try something new. Number 5. Mastering the spoken wheel technique is key to monetizing your skills. When Jeff Bezos first launched Amazon, he primarily sold books. After that, he sold clothes, then electronics, then food. Then he started selling logistics and shipping infrastructure and created the Amazon Sellers program. He didn't stop there, however. Bezos went on to create Amazon Web Services, which allows anyone to rent space and develop within Amazon's cloud infrastructure. Amazon has earned huge profits by monetizing its systems and infrastructure. This is what Altucher calls the spoken wheel method. Say you have a business idea. The wheel is the core concept of that idea, and the spokes are all the different ways you can make money from it. For example, consider the business of organizational guru Marie Kondo. Her KonMari method for tidying up is a specific approach to minimalism that's unique to her. The method combines traditional Shinto beliefs about cleanliness with the modern concept of minimalism. Kondo's method is the wheel of her business, but there are also several spokes that come out of it. These include a book called The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which has sold millions of copies in 30 countries, as well as a Netflix show called Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. She also has a newsletter and merchandise, conducts online courses, and earns a fee through public speaking. By investing in all these different spokes of her business, Kondo has managed to increase her net worth many times over. So, the spoken wheel method is a great way of squeezing as much out of one idea as possible. It's also a way of diversifying your income stream so you're not reliant on a single source of income. Whatever your business ideas or interests are, write down all the spokes that could emanate from them. You'll be surprised at how many opportunities you have and how easy it is to experiment with them. What's your most important key takeaway? Please comment down below and share the video if you like it. Check out these other 2 videos. Thank you, and until next time.